Welcome back to Building Character, where we figure out how to play as your favorite fictional characters in Dungeons & Dragons. Join the Patreon if you want to support the channel, and like and subscribe for more nocturnal friends next time you play. Maybe. Today we're building Princess Luna from My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, also known as the Nightmare Moon. Honestly, that's the sickest pun you could have for a name. The fact that it makes a pun intimidating is impressive all on its own. Let's start off with our goals for this build. First, we need the basic alicorn powers, flight, magic, the good stuff. Next, we'll get some more specific magics like telekinesis and lasers. Finally, we need to raise the moon. Wait, I don't know if we can do that in D&D. We'll try, I guess. For stats, we'll be using the standard point array from the player's handbook. Roll for stats if you want, just keep your multi-classing minimums in mind. Charisma will be number 1. Your magic is innate, or it's from friendship. Both would be charisma based. Constitution next. You and your sister are immortal. There isn't really a way to do that beyond having enough hit points to never die. Intelligence after that, if you never die and are part of the lore of the world, you probably have good insight into history and arcana. Follow that up with dexterity. You're fairly graceful flying through that night sky. Strength is a little low. You don't need it if you can lift things with your mind, and we'll dump wisdom. Depending on the source material, you either got cursed to become evil or just kind of lost control. Both, I would say, are wisdom issues. There isn't a full horse race in D&D, but there is a half horse race, and the horse, of course, for this race is Centaur. Bump your constitution by 2 and your charisma by 1. You can charge to make a bonus action attack with your hooves if you run 30 feet and make a weapon attack against a creature. A hoof attack is a weapon attack, dealing 1d4 plus your strength modifier in bludgeoning damage, which isn't your best move. If you have godlike magical powers, you probably don't need to kick people. Your equine build makes you 1 size larger when determining your carrying capacity, and you get an extra skill from a short list. I'm gonna go with survival. You spent a long time on the moon alone, and I don't think there's a ton of food up there. For your skills, intimidation and arcana would be fitting to be kind of scary at first and to know the lore. The skills we pick here aren't all that important. We're getting a lot of skills. Because we're starting off as a bard, we eventually need to be a bard for a weird spell list, but for now you can grab 3 skills from the bard list like performance, history, and investigation. The bard list of skills is all the skills in the game. You get bardic inspiration for a pool of d6s you can share with the other ponies to add to an ability check, saving throw, or attack roll. Your villain arc ends pretty early. After that, you're big on the power of friendship. For your cantrips, Mage Hand is some early telekinesis, letting you lift objects weighing 10 pounds or less with a floating spectral hand. Light creates some light if you want to see at night with your bad centaur eyes. Obviously, if you're the nightmare, you need to see at night. For some more moonlight magic, Fairy Fire forces a dexterity saving throw on creatures in a 20-foot cube. Failing that, they can't turn invisible as they are lit up, and allies have advantage on attack rolls against them. Featherfall prevents up to 5 falling creatures from taking falling damage as a reaction. We can't get flight just yet. This is the closest thing we can grab at level 1. Animal Friendship forces a wisdom saving throw on a beast. Failing that, they're charmed by you for 24 hours. Technically, ponies are animals. If I were playing in an MLP type game, I would probably consider them humanoids as the DM, but maybe your DM disagrees. Long Strider makes you run 10 feet faster, or fly 10 feet faster later since it's not concentration. Something to keep in mind. Second level bards get Jack of all trades, letting you add half your proficiency bonus to skill checks you're not proficient with. If you live forever, you eventually try a bit of everything. You also get Song of Rest, letting your allies heal an extra d6 on short rests. All the ponies can sing, some of them even make dubstep. For this level spell, Identify tells you what a magical item is, how many charges it has left, so now you have a magical way to know your lore. Third level bards get expertise in 2 skills. Let's start with performance and intimidation to take advantage of that charisma. You can even get 3 more skills if we go lore bard, which we'll need for the proper spell list later. Acrobatics, perception, and animal handling should be fun, though again, in an MLP campaign, I'd probably count the ponies as humanoid. Cutting words lets you use your inspiration to lower an enemy's attack roll, ability check, or damage roll to keep yourself and your friends safe. You can also learn 2nd level spells at this level, still nothing we're really looking for. It takes a while to get the power of a god. Enhance ability is always great though, giving a creature advantage on ability checks of a certain type. If you choose strength, their carrying capacity is also doubled. If you choose dexterity, they don't take falling damage from heights of 20 feet or less. And if you choose constitution, they get 2d6 temporary HP. Doubling your carrying capacity as a centaur gives you some serious horsepower. Keep that in mind. 4th level bards get an ability score improvement or feat. We're going to start with some good old-fashioned charisma to cast our spells better. For this level spell, Kinetic Jaunt increases your movement speed by 10 feet and prevents you from taking opportunity attacks. Still can't fly, but we're getting there. 5th level bards get a Font of Inspiration, letting you recover your inspiration die on short rests instead of long rests, and now they're d8s. How better to describe a redemption arc in a tangible way than boosting your friendship die? You can also cast 3rd level spells. Fear forces a wisdom saving throw on creatures in a 60-foot cone. Failing that, they're frightened and have to dash away until they can't see you go on their turns. If they're a pony, that dashing speed is gonna be extra far. It's a big brain play. 6th level lore bards get additional magical secrets, letting us build the weird spell list we need to with 2 spells from any list. First, we'll grab Fly for a 60-foot flying speed for 10 minutes, finally getting us that Alicorn Flight. We'll also grab Guiding Bolt for some Moonbeam Blasts, shooting a ranged spell attack that deals 4d6 radiant damage and gives the next creature attacking that target advantage. Mix it in with your inspiration die, and it's a hit from you, followed by a practically guaranteed hit from one of your friends. It's a nice pairing. 7th level bards can learn 4th level spells like Freedom of Movement, making you immune to any effect that would slow you down or restrain you, and you can break out of non-magical shackles with 5 feet of movement. Since it doesn't require your concentration, it's a great way to make sure that you're getting the most out of your fly spell. Longstrider is also not concentration, so mix them all together and fly really fast. 8th level bards get an ability score improvement, cap off that charisma for maximum friendship and maximum magic. We'll dip back to the 2nd level for borrowed knowledge, letting you give yourself proficiency with any skill you're not proficient with for an hour at a time. Not a concentration option either, so mix it with enhanced ability, you can get proficiency and advantage on any skill in 2 actions. Costs 2 2nd level spell slots, but you have that for an hour. 9th level bards can learn 5th level spells like Dream. We're finally getting the cool Luna powers rather than, if I'm being honest, a bit of filler. She does high level stuff, okay? Dream lets you visit a creature's dreams that you're aware of to pass information or just hang out and talk to them for 8 hours. If you don't like them, you can give them a nightmare, forcing a wisdom saving throw. They don't get the benefits of a long rest, and they take 3d6 psychic damage when they wake up. Interrupting the REM cycle of the big bad evil guy is maybe the most fun way to stop them. 10th level bards get a lot. Expertise in 2 more skills like Arcana and History to boost your intelligence checks a little bit. Your inspiration die bumps up to a d10 and you get 2 more magical secrets. Telekinesis lets you lift objects weighing 1,000 pounds or less with your mind. If that thing you're lifting is a creature that doesn't want to go up, you can make a charisma check against their athletics checks to lift them. It's still not enough to lift the moon. Still don't totally know how we're gonna do that. Call Lightning creates a 60-foot radius cloud that you can call down lightning from, forcing a dexterity saving throw on creatures in a 5-foot radius, dealing 3d10 lightning damage to those that fail, half as much to those that succeed. If you'd rather grab Lightning Bolt, that's also an option, but I think the cloud is more in line with how Luna does it, so that's why I took Call Lightning instead. 11th level bards can learn 6th level spells, but I don't want any. Instead, grab Animate Objects from the 5th level to turn objects into creatures who help you out. The smaller the creature, the more you can have, but the bigger the creature, the more HP it has. The stats are kind of long to read. They're in the player's handbook, probably a good idea to have that with you if you plan on using the spell, rather than pulling up this video and hoping I explain every different size of animated objects, so I'm just gonna trust that you're gonna do that. 12th level bards get another ability score improvement. We don't really need anything, so let's go for Constitution for more HP and better concentration on our spells. Keeping the moon in orbit probably requires some focus. 13th level bards can learn 7th level spells. Regenerate heals a creature 1 HP every round and 4d8 plus 15 HP when the spell is cast, as well as replacing any missing limbs. Living forever should probably include some kind of healing factor, right? 14th level lore bards get Peerless Skill, letting you add your inspiration die to your own ability checks. Honestly, a bit underwhelming for this high of a level, but since you get 2 more magical secrets here, it's still worth it. For this batch, Darkness will create some magical darkness in a 15-foot radius, but it's not your average everyday darkness. This is advanced darkness. Not even dark vision can see through it. Now that's what I call night for the mayor. Tasha's Otherworldly Guise is a cooler transformation and way to fly, giving you a 40-foot flying speed. You can make weapon attacks with your charisma modifier and make 2 weapon attacks in a round, and you're immune to fire and poison damage in the poison condition, or radiant and necrotic damage and the charmed condition. Whatever suite of buffs you want, you get. Go for that one. 15th level bards can learn 8th level spells. Glibness is always great for a princess, meaning the lowest you can roll on a charisma check is 15 plus your modifier. With Jack of all trades, your lowest modifier here is +7, and with expertise, your highest modifier is +15. That's what I call charisma. 16th level lore bards get an ability score improvement or a feat. We'll go for a resilience specifically for your constitution to add 1 to the score and give you proficiency with the saving throws for much better concentration checks. It'll also let us round off some odd numbers later. I don't like odd numbers. 17th level bards can learn 9th level spells. Foresight is also great for princess powers, just kind of making you better than everyone else. That'll give you advantage on attack rolls, saving throws, and ability checks, and attack rolls against you are made with disadvantage for 8 hours, no concentration required. So you can stack it with Glibness and Longstrider and a whole bunch of other non-concentration spells and a concentration spell and just kind of be better. 18th level bards get another set of magical secrets, and Wish is the only spell I can think of that would let you lift the moon, because it lets you do anything. 2. You cast a spell of 8th level or lower without any penalty, but if you do anything else, your DM might try to mess things up, and you'll take a d10 of necrotic damage every time you cast a spell per level of the spell before you take a long rest. Your strength will be reduced to 3 for 2d4 days, and there's a 33% chance you can never cast this spell again. So you have to wish for the ability to move the moon. Honestly, maybe it's just a deception check and the moon is moving on its own, gravity and whatnot. Sunbeam will be a bigger laser, forcing a constitution saving throw on creatures in a 60-foot line, dealing 6d8 radiant damage to those that fail and blinding them for the round. Half damage, no blinding if they succeed. Sun stuff might seem a bit more like your sister's theme, but the moonbeam spell doesn't emanate from your person, so I'm grabbing Sunbeam and calling it a moonbeam. Does that make sense? 19th level bards get our last ability score improvement, cap off your constitution and bump that intelligence a little bit. No reason not to do a little bit better on those lore checks. Our capstone is going to be the first level of Warlock, specifically Celestial Warlock, to gain some power from your friendship. With that, you get Sacred Flame for free, letting you force a dexterity saving throw on a creature, dealing 4d8 radiant damage to them if they fail. If you want a little at-will energy blast, you don't have to spend a slot on. For your other cantrips, Infestation lets you force a constitution saving throw on a creature. Failing that, they take 4d6 poison damage and have to move in a random direction. Animate Objects is more what I would say works for the spider toy thing, but this could be a fun alternate option. Friends lets you give yourself advantage on charisma checks with a creature, though after the spell ends, they'll be mad you used friendship. I mean, magic. One and the same, you know? For first level spells, Witch Bolt is very bad at this level, but it's 1d12 lightning damage with a ranged spell attack for a different lightning option. Expeditious Retreat lets you dash as a bonus action for up to 10 minutes if you want to run really fast, but since it's concentration, you can't have it up while flying, so probably don't use this one. Basically, I just wanted the extra cantrips since the capstone of Bard is pretty useless. A few more options and one more first level spell slot, probably better. Now that we've hit level 20, let's figure out how viable this build is. First, you have so much utility with mobility spells, damage spells, buffing spells, and lifting spells. You also have a lot of HP with around 200 depending on how you rolled, and permanent foresight so everyone has disadvantage on attacks against you. You have advantage on all your saving throws. Finally, you're packed with skills, and even the skills you're bad at, you're kind of good at thanks to Jack of all trades. For weaknesses, your wisdom saves are bad, so you could end up being cursed, or just lose out to the darkness in your own heart. Again, depends on the lore. You're also using Wish to do something the moon should be doing on its own. I'd use it for like money or something. Finally, while plenty of your buffs don't require concentration, all of your flying speeds do, so you won't be able to fly and shoot sunbeam lasers at the same time. But that's not an issue because you have 2 other lasers. Raise the moon, rule the night, and speed run that redemption arc to make friends fast. Just keep an eye on that dark side. You could be a real nightmare for the party if you went evil. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, subscribe for more. We make 2 videos every week. Join the Patreon to support the channel, follow me on Twitch to watch me stream, and sub to Tulok and Mango for more Tulok fun.